How y'all doing? For some of you who've watched this channel for a while there, you've noticed I've covered some of the old classic fantasy stories from the early part of the 1900s. Particularly the pulps. I've covered some Robert Howard, some Michael Moorcock, Edgar Rice Burroughs, Clark Ashton Smith. That time era where you wrote short stories to, at a penny a word. Now, as wonderful, exciting as that is, you may think that they're probably only reprinted now and no new stuff is going around. It's not true. You have to look for it. And there are people who are still around, still wanting to write stories in that vein, in those short, rich, plot-driven stories, straight to the point. Not these 800-page epics, like today. Nothing wrong with that, but it's good to go back to its roots. And as I say, you have to look for it. There are certain magazines that that do this. In fact, I've even mentioned Heroic Fantasy Quarterly, an online magazine, which has its own paperbacks of selected stories in that wonderful tradition. And again, I'm going to talk about a guy who just wrote his first pulp novel. That is The Long Moonlight, Night Vale, Book 1 by RazörFist. He's a YouTuber I subscribe to. And after watching his stuff for a while here, and if you pay attention to all the things he's interested in, he takes all that love that he has, he puts it right here. It covers in the back of it is it says pulp, fantasy, crime, and noir, and it's all here. It's very short, very thin. It's only 115 pages, and as a pulp should be, straight to the point. No extra meat, and what you need to know is only convenience of the story. So let's take a look what it's about. The setting of the story is the city of Menuvia, a former capital of the Kingdom of Baal. Now it's just reduced to holding the Senate. But still, rich nobles keep their vast mansions and wells around the city here, as opposed to the actual capital, which leaves to plenty of opportunities to those like our protagonist, Xerxes. Xerxes is a competent thief who one night breaks into an inn trying to get some plunder for himself, and well, as he travels upstairs, he notices a conversation in a locked room. And this locked room is of a huge man named Cy Welliver, one of the crime lords, interrogating a thief he recognizes. And unfortunately, he gets caught, but runs off while having a small accident to the inn happen. Later, he starts breaking into another place, and that didn't do so well for him there, because he eventually gets poisoned, and later is captured by the man who owns the place. His name is Rolf Eggleston, if I pronounce that right. And this is the other crime lord here, and he is offering him a position for his skills. Further events after this will lead to him in the middle of a conflict that will lead to a huge citywide turf war. I'm going to stop it right here because I don't want to give too much away. As I said, it's not that thick, and I want to leave you to experience it yourself. Now, the author of this story, RazörFist, and if you watch his channel to an extent, he could tell you he has a huge love of the old pulps back in the day. He's covered review on his own channel there. He's covered Robert Howard, particularly Solomon Kane. He loves The Shadow so much he has a separate channel of his own podcast called The Shadowcast. I suggest you take that out, where he goes in depth to the character of Shadow and what suggested reading and all this. He also likes Doc Savage. He likes Raymond Chandler. Crime stories and all that. In addition to that, he also likes film noir, classic film noir movies, where he has on his channel and also on BitChute, he has Film Noir Archives, where he talks about individual films from Double Indemnity to Blade Runner and explains his views on and the facts about these films, what makes them film noir, helps correct the misconceptions we have on that. And as I say, he has them both on his YouTube channel and BitChute. More like you have to go to BitChute because sometimes YouTube does copyright claims on his Film Noir Archive stuff. Check him out wherever you can. And also, with a book like this, it is also influenced by one of his favorite games, Thief the Dark Project. There. So if you watch his channel, you find out all the things he likes and why he likes it. You can see how it all influences right here to a nice, simple, straight to the point story. And I think a lot of you could enjoy it for those of you who like the old-fashioned pulps like he does. And is this like a huge larger than life? No, it's a story that's straight. As I said, it's straight to the point. It's interesting and all that. It kind of grips you in, and it tells you just enough detail. Doesn't put any extra meat on it, but it grips you enough to where it's like, okay, that was a good story. is there more? In fact, there is. In the back of this, he says there's 2 upcoming stories here: the Ghost Wind and Faceless Phantom. He's at the time of this reading here of this video right here, he's already got the 2nd story finished, so it's just a matter of getting it published. But you can still pick up the first book. I say you get it in paperback, or you can get it in hardcover. And this one I got a signed copy there. You can't get these signed now. That's already done, but you can still get a hardcover version. You can get an audio book, unabridged audio, and you can also pick up the ebook. And also there's some merchandise with this. When I got this signed copy here, it came this nice little bookmark, and it's just a nice illustration of it. It has a little quote: the job, the less you like danger, the more you make its acquaintance. And I also forgot to mention there that this book, now it has this wonderful cover there, and as I say, it's film noir. You can definitely tell by the font, but I'm digressing here. But it's also, as pulp should be, nicely illustrated here and there. And I have to agree with Razor that good pulps have plenty of, should have some good illustrations here and there to give you the nice tone and feel of it. Stuff like this. And I think it really adds to the flavor and really adds to the fun of these type of stories. So there you go, The Long Moonlight by RazörFist. So pick up a copy of your variations, and it's like $20 for the hardcover, $15 for the ebook or a paperback, and I think like only about $5 or so for the audiobook. You have to look around. You can get it on Amazon or straight from the website here. Dark Legion Books on the back of this, so you want to look that up. So there you go, The Long Moonlight by RazörFist. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice day.